What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-High Radio Shawty, and stepping in the building, I got a friend and family member to the show, the beautiful queen, author, brand manager, filmmaker, and television producer.
What's happening?
My sister, what the hell's going on with you?
I'm so happy to be here with you today.
I'm happy to have you off in this thing. You know, your story is one of those stories that we can only get from Queen because only one person has been in the middle of all of the stuff that you done been a part of, okay, and influential in. Can you take me back to day one, though, Queen? Ooh. At what point was it that made you feel like, you know what, I need to get into this music industry and entertainment industry and do my thing?
I went to West Georgia.
Okay.
For sports and entertainment management.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother and my best friend, and they picked me and plucked me up out of the school, and we ran with D4L Records.
My God.
That's pretty much how it happened.
What was it like when your brother came and got you? Had he already been popping with the music already, or what kind of thing was this? And for those who don't know, her brother is Shawty Low.
He was popping in the streets.
Of course.
Yeah, so he was popping in the streets. He already had that going. D4L kind of already had that wave. They had their first song out, Bitch Can't Do It Like Me. And then around the time, right before Laffy Taffy came out, I came in the mix.
What was it like getting into the industry, though? Because you going to school for this thing. Was you able to apply anything that you was learning in class in real time?
I'm going to say I learned more in the street.
In real time
than I did in school.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that time, though, for you, what was that like, just being wet behind the ears trying to navigate this whole music industry? What were some of the first learning lessons that occurred?
I say as a woman, I was a little bit more naive, but I was glad I had people to protect me a little bit better. It's harder as a woman. People they automatically assume that you're weaker, and my mind is stronger than most.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay, being a woman in the industry, though, as well, how did you deal with the males not taking you seriously and trying to marry you at the same time? You know how they do.
Yeah.
You know how they do.
Yeah, they definitely do. I have what I call the bro code.
Okay.
Yeah, so if a person is a real friend to me, I can treat them like my brother, and we don't have to go into any other route.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even look at them in any capacity other than that. So for the most part, I do that. And if it's somebody that I can't do that with, I limit my time and space with them.
Okay. Before Low came with the D4L Records, though, did you know that your brother was going to be one of the biggest stars to ever come out of this damn city?
I think that people just always knew that he was him. And when you him, it don't matter what you do. So, yeah. You got a pause?
No, you
got a pause on that one?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Okay. What was it about him that made him him, though?
He was like the neighborhood hero.
Yeah.
He came from nothing, you know. He had Ann and his grandma, and it's like when you come from a hood like Bowen Homes.
Yeah.
When you come from that atmosphere and being around that element and to come into something and build wealth for yourself, you are a hero to everyone around you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
So maneuvering in this industry, though, I mean, what were some of your favorite times in this thing where you felt like, okay, I got the hang of this thing and I'm loving this right now?
I'm going to tell you something a lot of people don't know. Well, people do know, but they just don't speak on it.
Yeah.
The first song that I ever A&R'd with Born Immaculate and Ballistic Beats was They Know.
Oh.
Yeah. Lo didn't even like the song.
What?
No, he didn't. He grew to like it.
Are you serious?
We had to force him to finish the song. Do you know how we forced him to finish the song?
How?
He had half the song. I had set up an interview with Greg Street at V103.
Yeah.
And I said he wanted to take Dun Dun up there. And I said, okay, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
I gave Greg Street They Know.
They Know.
Yeah, and that's how that happened.
What did Street say when he heard They Know?
I don't know. It was kind of like his first, what he felt like was a commercial record.
Yeah.
But when he really realized it and he made up the dance to it, and he saw how big it could be, like he really embraced it and he ran with it.
Well, now I'm talking about Greg Street. When
Greg Street?
Yeah.
Oh, Greg was on him like, where's the rest of the song?
Exactly.
Like, let me get this. Calling Born Immaculate, like, hey, where's the rest of the song? Let me get it. Born was Lowe's engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so
producer.
Even to this day, though, when you still hear that song playing on the radio on a regular basis, how did that make you feel, knowing that you had a strong part in that thing?
I be feeling like now, since he's passed, I feel like that's a message from him. Because I hear it in the strangest places. I be in different cities, different countries.
Yeah.
And I randomly hear it, and I feel like, yeah, that's him with me. So that's how I feel now.
Traveling the world, though, Queen. What has that been like for you?
I love traveling. I love seeing new places and meeting new people. Fabo and I just got back from Japan a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Amazing experience.
My God.
It was awesome to see how much they really love him over there. Like,
yeah.
You just walk the street. They don't even know English, but guess what they say? Fabo! 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 I'm like, what is going on?
Fabo!
Fabo! Fabo! Oh! Like, they doing it.
Wait,
dance
they hit the moves, too?
Yes! I got a video I got to show you. It just randomly started dancing. Walked up and just randomly started dancing.
Okay, so now your relationship with Fabo, though, man, can you go back to when you first met that guy?
Okay, so one day I walked in the studio, 2610 Bankhead.
Okay.
Original D4L studio.
That's right.
And Fabo was at the computer. This is probably like 18 years ago. And he was playing his music. I was like, damn, this he sounded like a revolutionary, the music that he was playing. I was like, who is this? And he was like, this me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. And from there, we just kind of like became best friends. And we've been best friends ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believed in him in the very beginning from the first day I ever saw him. And he knows that. So that's why he know I'm always have his best interest at heart.
That's right.
For
That's
sure.
right. I mean, for you, though, your experience traveling Japan, what is that like for you when you touch down? You're like, okay, I'm in this whole new culture, peeking around.
Little known fact, my minor in school was foreign language. So I took Japanese, French, Spanish.
You were ready for that shit?
Yeah, I studied the Japanese culture. Like if you know me, I wear a lot of kimonos.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my things that I do. So I studied Japanese culture. But it was my first time actually going to Japan. So I really enjoyed it. I kind of explored, and I'm also a Harry Potter fan, so I went to Harry Potter World while I was there. So yeah, I just had fun.
I feel that. Okay, being a manager of all of these different artists, from Ralo to Trouble to Fabo, what was it like managing all of these different artists?
Well, I wasn't Trouble's manager. Trouble was like my brother.
Okay.
Like we really he was my confidant. Like for real.
Yeah.
But we never really did music stuff together. But he'll ask my advice and I'll ask his advice about certain things. But Sarah and Dee were his managers.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
But I managed Ralo for almost 5 years. Right before he got locked up, I started managing him, helping him with creative direction on videos.
Yeah.
I put out like 4 or 5 projects while he was incarcerated. Really helped produce it, get features, all those things. So it's just what I like doing. I love music. I love creating. I'm a creative. So anything that enables me to be able to do that, I appreciate.
What was it like getting Ralo from the streets and helping him build his brand from the ground up?
Ralo is really, I'm going to say self-made. He's a little mini genius, even though he can be arrogant about it. He has a lot of ideas that most people don't have. He thinks differently.
Yeah.
I would wish that he wasn't on the internet as much as he was, but he definitely, I can't take credit for a lot of things, but we did. Teamwork makes it better. Yeah. We would feed off of each other and create things, so I appreciate that.
What is it like managing an artist and then you look up and they get indicted by the feds? I mean, how is that whole thing from the inside looking out?
I would never want to go through another Fed trial in my life. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm done with street music. Like I can't ever do that, go through that again. It was a lot.
My God.
It was a whole lot. Yeah.
Did they have to call you in that thing?
Oh, I went. I never missed a court date. Never missed a lawyer meeting. I was there the whole time.
So just on a stress level from 1 to 10, what was that at?
22.
Stressful as hell.
Very much so. Yeah, for sure.
And what is that like seeing somebody that you've been working with to build something with having to go through that? What are you saying to Ralo during that time? What is he saying to you during that time when you're like, hey, man, it's looking real funky around here?
I think the goal was always to bring him home, bring him to his family, kids, back to his community. And knowing that he was young and impetuous and he didn't really have any guidance coming up. He really was a product of his environment. There was never anybody that he looked up to.
Yeah.
He was the boss.
Yeah.
So it's like in that understanding, and you can understand his mindset and his sometimes arrogance, sometimes impetuousness. Then you understand who he is and why he's the way he is.
How do you feel like, these RICOs and the feds and these cases that a lot of these artists are catching are impacting hip hop?
I feel like hip hop is based off telling a story. Every story isn't real. Some are.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still art. And I don't feel like the art should reflect over into a legal case.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Now, speaking of the art, as a filmmaker and producer at the same time, speak on your creative process when it comes to coming up with these damn treatments and all of this stuff. And some of your favorite videos and movies that you done worked on.
Okay. Well, I did just graduate from film school at
Congratulations.
Full Sail
Yeah,
University.
I went that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. Really, honestly, I say, God, I'm inspired. I don't know what it is. Honestly, like I could just see something and I get a whole vision in my head and I just like, that's it.
Exactly.
And I can sit there and map it out. That's just a gift that God gave me and I'm grateful for that gift.
Exactly.
Sure.
I mean, working with Drama Boost in Trouble.
Oh, man.
I mean, what was that video shoot like?
It was amazing. Thank you, DJ Drama.
What up, though, Drum?
Thank you, Royce.
Yeah.
Thank you, Willie Joe.
Royce,
everybody in
the
Generation Now.
the fam,
I appreciate y'all. For giving me the opportunity to creative direct, and style Iron Write the video.
That's hard.
It was just a great process. They made it real seamless. Everybody got along. Yeah. Everybody, I ain't say everybody was on time. But
you know how we do.
But it was a great shoot. And I appreciate MMB, Trouble, Hood, and all my brothers at MMB for coming out and representing for Big Trouble.
Exactly. Jessica Dime, managing her and working with her. What has that been like for you?
I love Jessica.
Talk to me.
Jessica is a very big personality. But what you see is what you get. It's authentic. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I appreciate, authentic people in a world full of fake people.
Yeah.
So Dime has a new show. It's called The Mint. It's on Now That's TV. Surprise, surprise, I'm actually on the show with her.
Oh, okay. Ain't mad at that.
Yeah, so this is my first stint at reality TV. I am going back behind the camera, but I am, for this, I'm in front of the camera.
So you on there whooping ass?
I'm not whooping ass, but
but you are taking names.
Taking names. Yeah, I have security, so it's like, yeah. And those girls, baby, that was a lot.
Oh my God. What is that like, producing that stuff and then all of these different personalities going crazy all the time?
Imagine 12 strippers who supposedly, they want to get out the club, but they still have club activities and mindsets in one house.
Oh my God.
Together.
Oh my God. That's off the damn chain.
Out the chains. Yes, for sure. Yeah. But Jessica held her own and she kept them in check for real.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay. When brother comes and gets you and says, Queen, it's D4L Records time. What was that ride like watching that label blow up and take over the whole city and then go national with it?
A lot of sleepless nights. A lot of understanding different people's personalities.
Yeah.
A lot of growth. A lot of fun. We had fun.
Yeah.
He said we done it all. We done been in every city. We done tore down the mall. All that's true. For sure.
What was your favorite time?
For a time, after D4L separated, I actually was Lowe's road manager as well. So I was on the road with him.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I can't deal with these people like this, Carlos. I'm like, I don't like people like that. And he was like, no, I know you can do it.
Exactly.
And he pushed me, him and Lil Gerald, they pushed me to be the road manager. So I kind of learned how to be assertive by doing that.
Exactly.
For sure. Because it's like people will play with you because you're a female and they think that, I don't got, no, I need my back end. My brother right there. And if I don't come back with his back end, he on me, so I'm on you.
Exactly. Come on now.
So, yeah.
When the money started coming in from it, though, how did things change then when it's like, okay, now we getting this legitimate legal industry money?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
You have street niggas who already had money,
yeah,
but not this level of money and not legal money.
Yeah.
So sometimes ego comes into play when money comes into play, which I feel like is why D4L it didn't stay whole.
I mean, speak on that money part though too for folks that don't understand, because a lot of folks will never see that kind of money in their life. So I mean, when that money hits those bank accounts, what is going through the artist's mind? What's going through the manager's mind? What's going through everybody's mind?
I think that they just wanted a better life. And when you see the opportunity for a better life, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
And that I will say that they all wanted to have their families with them in a better life, in a better, away from the hood.
Exactly.
That was the whole goal.
When Lowe started getting into it with T.I., what was that internal ATL beef like back then, man?
It was a lot.
And what did it take to squash everything?
Conversation, communication. I think really what helped it was when Lowe moved in the same neighborhood as Tip. So it's like, how I'm gonna beef with you and you stay 3 houses down?
We can't be doing this.
And our kids is right
here.
These
houses cost too much money to be cutting up around here.
Exactly. We would be literally leave the neighborhood and go to the BP, and Tip would be right there. And it's like, what y'all gonna do now? Like,
hey man.
Hey. You just gotta be real with yourself. Like at that point, like It's not worth it. Like.
What was it like when those conversations were had, though, man, and brothers was able to just iron everything out and keep it moving?
I have a gratitude for that, and you know, I actually have a really good relationship with Tip now.
That's awesome.
He give me advice, like he. I think everybody has evolved from that point, and he really good people.
Exactly.
Like honestly, we had a conversation about Lowe. Matter of fact, a couple months ago, I did Lowe's birthday celebration at the bank.
Yeah.
And I called Tip, and he was like, "I'm there."
Come on,
he came,
now.
Period.
Exactly.
Like so, he just. I think it was an evolution that needed to be had. You have two alpha males, who both are from the same area, essentially.
Yeah.
I think what it was, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just gonna tell you from I know Lowe's side of point of view, is when the beef happened, I think he was more hurt that Tip didn't acknowledge him as the king of Bankhead and somebody who I think even everybody at some point looked up to.
Yeah.
On Bankhead, just like, hey, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? Period. And even like in one of Tip's first videos, he used one of Lowe's cars in his videos. So it's like, bro, you know who I am. Why you not acknowledging who I am?
Yeah.
But in the music industry, it's different than the streets.
Come on now.
And in the music industry, Tip was king.
Yeah.
So when you have that imbalance, like, okay, he's coming up and you already up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I can acknowledge you or I can't. But I think that at some point, Lowe may have little boyed him. So it was kind of like a tit for tat thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they like I said, they found a peace, they had a conversation, and they resolved it like grown men.
Exactly. So. When you think about Lowe's impact to Atlanta and Bankhead specifically, when he passed, I don't think we'll ever see what we saw happened in Atlanta ever again. It hadn't happened before then, and the damn show probably ain't gonna never happen again. People cut up, okay? The emotions were high and raw in these streets. And to be honest with you, it was a beautiful thing to see, too, at the same time, even though it was a sad moment. But it was just a beautiful thing to see him getting that love and respect in those flowers. How did that impact you when he passed, and how did you feel about, the reaction from the city?
Well, I must talk about how it impacted me first, because it wasn't just like we did music together. This is my brother, and this is my protector.
Yeah.
He didn't play about me.
Exactly.
So when he crossed to the other side, like it gave me a lot of anxiety, pain. I had to go to therapy. Like I had to really just I still go to therapy, between losing all the people that I lost. It's just a lot for me. So it wasn't about him as a music figure. It was the person who made me laugh. It was the person who cooked for me.
Yeah.
It was my daughter's godfather and uncle. I lost a part of my heart, you know what I'm saying, when he passed. So it was a little bit different for me. His impact on the city, like a lot of people don't know, Lowe will give people whatever they needed if he could give it to them. If you didn't have money for your light bill, if your children needed shoes, he never posted it. He never talked about it. He never boasted it about any of those things, but he did those things. And that's why people loved him so much, because in his community, he was there for those people individually.
Exactly. When you saw the outpouring of love from the people when he passed, how did that make you feel?
I felt great. When I saw Beyonce do a tribute to him when she came to Atlanta, I was like, I literally cried tears. I was like, but I be wishing that we could give people their flowers while they're here. For sure.
But I'm talking about on Bankhead.
Oh, on Bankhead? Oh, man, we went up.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I mean,
for sure.
all hell broke loose on Bankhead with that man. Come on now.
They took him to the Blue Flame in a casket. I said, why God?
Okay, when they took Low to the Flame in the casket, what was going through your mind at that time?
Why God? Literally. Oh my God. For sure, for real.
Oh my God. Now, you also just spoke about just different artists and friends and family members passing. How do you deal with that though? Because I mean, that's traumatic as well, whether it be a brother, an artist, or just a friend coming up in the streets. That can be traumatic. I know on my side of things, every time somebody passes, I just got to take a pause for the cause, because I ain't got nothing to say to nobody, because I'm like, you know what, I just got to take a pause for the cause. How does it impact you?
I'm going to speak on Trouble, because I don't think people realize you can have a platonic soulmate.
Yeah.
And I feel like Trouble was my platonic soulmate. Like, we understood each other different. So when he passed away, like, it was a little different for me. I went to grief counseling this time instead of just therapy. I went to grief counseling.
Yeah.
And me and Trouble had some plans. Like, he wanted to act.
Yeah.
His next thing was to act. Like, he really was over the music industry and the politics of it. And even though he had an album that he just finished, he was like, Queen, I really don't want to do this no more. I don't like the politics. And I was like, I understand. Yeah. Me too. I get you. Yeah. And so he was like, I want to get into film. I could show you the last video, like a week before he passed. He did like an acting reel, and he was like, Queen, call Tyler Perry. Call Tyler Perry. Get me in these movies right now. It was just so funny. Like, so when he passed, I was like, I'm not waiting to do anything I want to do anymore. And I enrolled in film school.
Come on now.
I feel like he up there with him and Lo are up there whispered in the big guy's ear, because I went through so much between the time Lo died and Trouble died. I had so much going on.
Talk to me.
And Scoop, he was just there for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he adopted me like his own sister, you know what I mean? And I'll never not be grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him being there for me, being protective of me, loving me, giving me advice, telling me about these niggas. Like, he just was one of them ones. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he just really affected me. And I feel like the moment I decided this is really what I want to do in life. Yeah. I succeeded in everything that I put my mind to.
Come on now.
So the name of my company is Abracadabra.
Okay then.
People think it's just a magic word. It's not. Abracadabra in Aramaic really means I create what I speak. So I'm intentional about the things that I speak, because I know that my mouth, my words create reality.
That's right.
So ever since then, I've just been on that wave, the Abracadabra wave.
Exactly.
Creating what I speak.
Okay. I want to ask you about the industry politics, though, because for Trouble to be like, you know what, I ain't got time for this no more. How has it been for you, especially playing a managerial role a lot of times, having to navigate it? Because the artists, you got to be that buffer between both of them and both sides on some bullshit. So what has that been like for you, being caught in the middle of a lot of these politics?
Okay, so I'm a Gemini. Mm-hmm. They say we have multiple personalities.
That's right.
So I think it's easier for me to deal with people. Yeah. Because I don't put emotion in it. Like, people think because I'm a female, I'm emotional. I'm so far. Maybe it's because of Lo, maybe it's because of Fabo, maybe it's because of Trouble. I'm not emotional when it comes to my business. Mm-hmm. So I can handle talking to this person and then coming back over here and telling them that. Yeah. And to be honest with you, like, men have a lot of egos. I don't have an ego. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to navigate the world a little bit easier. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. The ministry politics, though, what has been a time to where you was caught in the middle of something trying to figure something out, and you like, you know what, this is getting real sticky, and I don't even feel like untangling this spider web.
Ooh, that's a lot of that. People don't know, like, I mediated a lot of things. I just never speak on it. Yeah. I don't know. I think that everything is politics in music.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, literally. It's contracts and politics.
Yeah.
And it's really the music business, and people forget that. There is a creative side, but everything is really business.
That's right.
So that's my answer for that.
When it comes to the business, what are some of the things that people need to be aware of?
Read your contract.
Come on now.
Don't blame somebody else for what you didn't take the time to acknowledge, read, and understand.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rely on everybody to handle everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask me to put more into you than you put into yourself.
Come on now.
So that's why a lot of times people are like, oh, I want you to manage me. Oh, I'll pay you to do this. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What's your part? Because if I'm putting more energy into you than you are, it's not going to work. I'm going to leave. I'm telling you right off top.
Exactly.
I don't play that like at all.
You ain't never lied.
Nah.
Okay, being in the midst of this Atlanta scene the whole time, how do you feel about the evolution of the Atlanta rap scene from D4L all the way up until today?
I think that music used to be happier. We had fun in the club.
Yeah.
I'm from the real old Atlanta.
Come on now.
So we used to dance in the club.
Come on now.
We used to get a little sweaty.
Your shirt was going to be wet before you walked out of there.
Yeah, we had fun. Now it's just like hookah and sections and phones. It's not that reality. They don't dance no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need to just get back to the fun of music. And also I feel like people are like, oh man, relationships and you can't date in Atlanta. Look at the music you listening to. It's a programming in your mindset. You know, the women is being programmed, the men are being programmed. It's just not conducive to love.
You just snapped with that, Queen. No, you snapped. You snapped so hard with that. I mean, what is it like having a personal life in Atlanta at the same time, too, between the industry and the streets?
I'm a very private person.
Yeah.
Very private person.
I'm with you.
Nothing's a secret, but I'm very private.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I don't blame
My
you.
business is nobody else. I'm MMB. I mind my business.
Mind my business.
Yep.
Now, I feel that. I feel that. So now, also, with you being around all of these stars, what do you think the common denominator was between all of them that allowed everybody to shine in their own right?
Knowing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the common denominator. And then being very talented.
Yeah.
Like God-given gifts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, when it comes to you, Queen, what are some of your aspirations now moving forward that you want to get done out here?
I actually did my first thing, which was I wrote a movie and I directed it.
Okay, then.
Jessica Dime is actually in my movie.
All right.
Cheating as Myron is in my movie. He's super hilarious.
Damn fool.
My brother US, who is an awesome actor. He's got a lot of Tubi movies under his belt, but I want him to kind of like be known for being. He really takes his craft seriously. Like he's in the movie as well. It's called The Lake.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's it about?
It's a comedic thriller.
Okay then.
And it is actually about Lake Lanier.
Ooh wee! Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a stressful ass movie.
Yeah.
It's about to be stressful as hell.
I want people to know the real story of Lake Lanier.
Exactly.
I really had a dream one night. I felt like the ancestors was talking to me, and it was like, tell our story.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, when you did your research on Lake Lanier, though, what were some of the things that you discovered that surprised you?
So Lake Lanier was actually Oscarville.
That's right.
Oscarville is a town full of black people, only black people. Mm-hmm. There was an incident that happened, and a Caucasian woman was supposedly raped.
Yeah.
And 2 men from Oscarville were blamed. So they came to the town, caused hell and high water.
Yeah.
They really drove 1,000 black people out of the town, and then probably like 50 years later, they flooded it with Lake Lanier. But there's still an entire town under there, from chicken coops to houses to old foundations to graveyards that are still under Lake Lanier, and then they wonder why things don't go well there.
Just coming off of that story, I know the movie's gonna be good. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because anytime something's based off of factual events at the same time, it's automatically gonna, spike them thriller, seekers, the thrill seekers. Okay, so now when we talk about Ralo and Trouble and the new generation of Atlanta, man, we having situations to where artists are passing and being in prison at the same time. How do you feel about that? And how do you think that we winded up getting to this point in Atlanta? Because we had more artists during the time where D4L was doing their thing. It was 20 acts coming out the city every year.
Right.
Now it's slow. It's down to a trickle. So.
Well, today is Dolph's birthday, so happy birthday, Dolph.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dolph.
His wife Mia, she created a foundation called Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. So that's what I think. I think Black men deserve to grow old, and we need to figure out a way to stop this violence.
Yeah.
Help our, and it's gonna start with helping the youth.
Yeah.
I have a couple of programs, initiatives that I'm working on. One of them is a boxing program with Hitsville Gym.
Okay.
Teaching the youth how to box and instead of just picking up a gun
Exactly.
automatically. There's a young man in Mechanicsville, and he has an initiative where he is opening like beauty shops for girls to be able to learn aesthetics and nails. And it just starts with us teaching them and training them that you don't have to just be out here in these streets and give them direction. I learned a lot, even like with the show that I did.
Yeah.
I be like, dang, that's common sense, but I learned that common sense ain't common.
That common. Yeah.
And you have to kind of lead and direct people.
Yeah.
Sometimes adults, but hopefully we can start with the youth.
Now I'm with you on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So now for you, during your time in the industry, what has been the most difficult time where you had to really, use some perseverance to get up through there?
I would say going through a Fed trial, dealing with the feds and my business and the things that came with that. It was a lot.
For those who don't know, without, having to go through too much extra hell, can you describe to them what the hell you were going through dealing with the feds and your business?
I will say this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Take your time.
They can be very intrusive. And there really isn't no way around it once you're in the system. So don't get in it. That's it. One thing I know and one thing that I don't play with is the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just leave them out there.
So now, from a personal side and standpoint, though, what was going through your mind on how you were just feeling, your emotions and feelings during those times?
At the time, I felt like there was no justice system. If you sit in a courtroom and you see the way things work and you hear the way they talk and even having a black prosecutor and the way that he prosecuted the case, how he portrayed him, it was a lot. It's a lot for your psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of seeing how they interact with each other, prosecution, defense, judge. It'll kind of mess up your head, for sure.
Because they at work.
They at work. They're doing their job.
They doing their job, and they on different sides of the coin, but they all at the same job.
Exactly. They all at the same table.
Exactly. So, what did you learn out of everything, and what did you learn about yourself out of all of that?
Ooh, I learned I'm a very, very strong individual.
Yeah.
I also learned that I never want to endure another federal case in my life.
Yeah.
In real life, honest to God.
Yeah.
Like I don't have it in me. I can't.
Did you think that it was over, or
no? At no point did I ever think it was over. That I will say. At no point.
So then, also knowing that you ain't got nothing to worry about, but then you having to endure doing all of that, man. Just the endurance to make it to the other side. Did it seem like it was ever going to end or not, or was they just looking for another leaf to turn over every doggone day?
Every time I thought it was over, they would turn over another leaf. Like, what happened? I thought we was
exactly.
done. No.
So then with Ralo helping him to try to get out of there, what was that like, just trying to help provide him with, counsel along that time?
Sometimes he listens, sometimes he does not. And I feel like that's why he's in the predicament he's in right now.
My God. Yeah, how much longer does he have?
He'll be home in a couple months.
Okay. Okay. So how is he feeling about that?
He's fine. I will say this. I have decided that him and the things that he have going on no longer align with what I have for my life.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. So now, with what you got going on for your life in this new direction that you on, how excited are you about this stuff that you're working on?
I'm super excited. God is amazing.
Come on now. Come on.
I'm so grateful.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
So then also, too, tell me when you realize that, okay, let me just go over here and do some business that ain't as stressful. How was that waking up in the morning and said, okay.
A weight is lifted off of, I'm serious. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. Oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm at peace. I'm in my soft girl life. Yeah. For the first time in a long time, I'm at peace.
Exactly.
And I'm grateful for that.
How does that make you feel, though, too? Did you ever think that you were going to find this peace, or did you get used to just being in the mix all the damn
I didn't
time?
realize how used to it I was until I wasn't in it anymore.
Ooh. Ooh.
For sure.
So what advice do you have to the next female going through what you done been through, though?
Ooh. I have a lot of advice for females because I've endured a lot with people in general. First thing is we don't have to compete with each other.
Come on now.
What I do, you can't do. What you do, I can't do. But we could benefit each other if you allow it to.
Come on.
So people don't know this. The music industry is really ran by women on the low.
What?
We run this city. Like,
yeah.
The men do what they do, let me say this too.
Say it.
Men and women, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever you are. There's no man that is successful without a woman, and there's no woman that's successful without a man.
Come on.
I would not be who I am right now if it wasn't for Lo, Fabo, and Trouble. Yeah. Like, they really poured into me as a female. They made sure I knew things that I needed to know. They gave me game. I learned how to play chess from Lo. I'm talking about, let me say it again. I learned how to play chess from Lo.
Yeah.
Not just on the board, but in life.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't be who I am had I not had that. Exactly. So we got to stop acting like we not interdependent on each other. We need each other. How
were you able to foster those relationships, though? Because I think that's what a lot of women are having problems doing, fostering those relationships.
I love people for real.
Yeah.
Not for fake. From my heart. Like, that's one of my superpowers. The way that I love people. I really love people. It's not, if I tell you I love you, I mean it. Because I'm not going to say that if I don't.
Come on now.
So that's it.
So you say that these other women out here ain't showing no love.
No,
they're just
out
here just trying to come up.
Exactly.
In what ways, then, should they be showing that love so they can reciprocate the love back without having to attach the extra drama to it, then?
Find somebody you can trust. Find somebody who you can communicate with.
Yeah.
Find someone who want to see you win and themselves. Yeah. So you know y'all both putting equal parts into it.
Exactly. So now, what do you have to say to the next woman that wants to get into the music industry? Because are you trying to transition out of the music industry and go straight film on us, Queen? How do you feel?
Film and music are hand in hand.
Okay.
Like, matter of fact, I forgot. Shout out to Honorable C Note because he scored my movie. Thank you,
C Note.
Then.
Yeah, that's hard.
Thank you, C Note.
And you done shot that whole thing already?
I shot the whole thing already. It'll be out by Halloween.
What it's looking like, Queen? When you watch that thing, how you feel?
I feel like the truth is told in a joke, and that's what I did.
Ooh. I mean, with that being said, watching it, did it make you laugh?
It did.
Okay, because see, that's the test right there.
For sure.
Would you want like, wait, but this shit ain't come out like I thought it did?
No, it was really funny. And I wrote it. I did the locations. I did the casting. And I directed it. Oh, shout out to E from Quality Visuals for being my dopest DP ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super dope.
From a business standpoint, though, Queen, how the hell you pull all that off?
I invested in myself and I had investors.
Come on now.
Yeah. I have people that believe in me, for real.
Exactly. Yeah. But then also, for those that don't understand, investing in your damn self and acquiring investors to go along with it, how the hell did you go about that? And what was it that made you say, you know what, let me put this bread on the line and get out here and make it do what it's supposed to?
I believe in myself.
Yeah.
The way I believe in other people too.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And not only that, people are like, oh, I got a plan, I got an idea, let me show you. No, when I came to my investors, I have a pitch deck.
Yeah.
I have the return of investment.
Yeah.
I have how to market this.
That's right.
Everything is set up together and it is up front, so it's no questions.
That's right.
Don't come to somebody and just give them an idea, have a plan.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. So now, moving forward, what all we need to be looking out for in this thing then, Queen?
More TV. More movies.
That's right.
A new album from Fabo.
All right.
Check out his Wine Geeked Up Moscato.
Okay then.
Jessica Down got a new project called The Mint. The Mint TV show premieres August 27th on Now That's TV.
That's right. Working with Fabo during that time, how did you keep him in the role when y'all lost Low?
So there was a time when I did not do music.
Okay.
And that was a time when I did not do music. I had to take some healing time. So he was doing his own thing. I haven't always managed him, but he's always been my best friend.
Yeah.
So I think that Fabo is just really an independent, strong-minded man.
Yeah.
Being. Super alien.
Yeah.
So
with you.
he gonna always keep going. Like I know it's hard for him too because, like he said, Lo was the person he called for advice.
Yeah.
Lo was the person you could lean on. Like he was the one who diffused situations. He was people didn't know like Lo. Okay, so I feel like let me just touch on this from the real Atlanta and the old Atlanta.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the old Atlanta, people got checked behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They got slapped,
Yeah.
punched, shot at, and they knew not to play with certain people.
Exactly.
And so we don't have that anymore, and I feel like that's a dysfunction that we have right now.
But the problem is that they getting shot on the scene now. It ain't even behind the scenes no
Yeah.
more. It's the end. The second you get out of line, you out of the game.
Well, sucker shit used to get checked.
Yeah. And it wouldn't even lead to it.
No, it
wouldn't
wouldn't
even
lead to
lead
nothing
to
else.
that. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now, I definitely understand what you're saying with that right there. So then also, too, what do you want to say to the city of Atlanta, too? What do you want folks to be on moving forward?
Do better, love each other, work together. And if you can't work with people, just leave them alone.
How do we foster a situation to where people can work together, though, Queen, too? Because also, you done been in a lot of different situations working with folks. What was the glue that allowed that camaraderie to exist well enough for folks to be successful?
People know that I only deal with real people.
Yeah.
So if you're around me, you're a real person. And I don't introduce anybody to anybody else. So if I'm introducing you to this person,
Yeah.
it's some real business going on.
Okay.
So it's reputation. It's knowing that I would never introduce or align people together who I feel like wouldn't be mutually beneficial.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Now, lastly, how can they contact you?
Y'all can find me at Queen Down, the number 4 Life, because I am Queen Down for life.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Queen, thank you for coming through this thing, sis.
you.
Wishing nothing but the best and much success.
And you as
Be
well.
Hot Radio, Shawty. Queen, holla at y'all in a minute, man. We gone.